Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome back to the Amplified Survival Minecraft world. Oh, that was a close one. I was trying to dive underneath that thing. That'd be an awkward start to the episode. I'm just gonna sit up here and eat a little fishy here real fast. But welcome on back, everybody. It has been quite a while since we're in this world here. I have not been flying around with Elytra for quite some time at this point, but holy cow, am I excited to be back in here. Because today, my friends, we unveil the mega project I've been working on for so very long inside of this world. It is finally complete. The absolute transformation of the ocean monument here is finished up, ready to go, completely functional, and it looks so fantastic. So without any further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and kick this off into a gigantic old-fashioned time-lapse mode and build out the entire mega base. That's the top of my head. Hello! Now, my friends, for one of those projects that you're like, oh, this won't be that bad, this won't be too long at all. No, I can do this. This will be easy piece of cake here, and 100 hours working on a project later and way too many blocks of sand placed, we finally are able to drain out this entire Guardian farm. Seeing right here, you can see that I've just started getting the glass in on the outline. I figure if I at least confine myself to a certain amount of space, it's going to make it a lot better and a lot easier to actually get everything going here. Then also that reduced the amount of scary mobs that we had to fight off the entire time. So for the glass on the outside, I ended up layering the entire thing in there. You can see that it's light blue glass at the top and then blue glass down towards the bottom, just because I want to have a little bit of that gradient effect on it. I thought I'd make it look like waves of the ocean of sorts, which was really cool. Then from there, we ended up raiding about 5 more ocean monuments to get a lot of sponges. So I had almost 3 stacks of sponges. So we could start very, very quickly draining all this stuff using the old method of placing the walls and walls of sand and then just coming back in with your sponges and draining it all. At this moment in time, I probably should have used flying machines, but I didn't know how to build them at the time. But looking back on it, you know, you have 20/20 vision when you're looking back on how to do something. And so we ended up doing this for a very, very long time here. Took absolutely forever to get everything drained, but it was kind of a fun project. It was really nice to hang out with everybody. We did this live on Twitch for pretty much 100% of this project, so if you want to see that type of stuff happening in the future, be sure to drop me a follow over there. It's just fWhip as well. There's a link in the description if you would like to. But we finally are coming to the close of getting everything drained out here, and I was like, you know what, let's just handle it, let's just get it done. And every single time you see it turn it in nighttime here and then back to day, I tried not sleeping during any of the nights, so that is 20 minutes just flashing by right there just like that. And then finally we have everything drained. The cool part about this though is in the area where the ocean monument exists, at least from Y level 40 and up, hostile mobs that are not guardians do not spawn. So that's actually really, really nice. I've already drained the entire interior of it, so we're good to go there. And you can see us just absolutely destroying this thing, tearing it down completely. And I love the flashing effect that we get with all of the prismarine. It is just so beautiful. So I wanted to really use that texture a lot as we're now building the functional aspect of a Guardian farm that I actually designed myself. I'm pretty proud of this one. Came up with this on the fly, and it worked out pretty well. We just filled the entire areas on the sides with soul sand, all full water that was used by kelp to do that, and then the Guardians just get funneled there into the center. I don't know if it was a great design or a bad design or whatever, but you know, it worked and I'm pretty happy with it, so that was pretty cool. Then from there, I decided to start clearing everything out and start detailing a little bit on the walls here. You can see using some sea lanterns and other stuff, we're able to make these really cool pillars on the side. And then I was like, you know what? I want this ground area to feel like it is a mining area, that we have a purpose for this other than it being a Guardian farm. So I tried going with a steampunky and a term to almost cyberpunky style alien landscape underneath here that's supposed to look like a dried out coral reef, and then we have these ravines inside of it filled with all of the prismarine that you can see I dug out there and just put it way far down underground so we get that flashing glowing feeling, adding a bunch of end rods to it as well. And then this entire place is spawn proofed outside of the slimes that spawn below the landscape that we made, but everything is torched up and ready to go, and the entire terrain is built out of slabs. So finally, we're able to get all of this stuff down here, and coming through in the end, I decided to add in a lot of different types of blocks from mossy stone to the other sorts, just to add a little bit more extra texture to it, and it looks fantastic. Here we have it, my friends, in person now. The time lapse has been finished, the build has been finished, and it looks so good down here. This area is absolutely massive. We have the complete ability to fly around in it, as you saw, but as I wanted to mention, or as I was mentioning there at the end, added a bunch of mossy cobblestone and vines and things throughout this place, and a few little ponds of water and stuff, just to spruce it up a little bit more and add a little bit of extra, just something to it. And I love these little ravines we have down here, where there are just some end rods to cause the little bit of the light glow to it, and you can't really tell too much that they're down there. And then we have the prismarine, but as you can see right here, these are all slabs. Everything across here is slabs or stairs or walls. So this entire place, as the sun is setting right now, you'll be able to see that it is completely mob proof now, and I love it. It is so fantastic. Coming down underground, however, that's a little bit of a different story, as there's big old slimy boys here who really like hanging out down here. That being said, we've got a little bit of a collection system right in here that has been filling up like crazy as we've worked throughout this section. I can't even get access to those top chests, but I'm sure they are. Oh yeah, everything is overflowing. Oopsies. Well, I gotta figure out some way to expand that stuff. We've got all of the working shulker boxes down here too. That's a lot of vines and things. I should take those back home with me if we have the space, and I think we do. And there's so much stuff. It's fine, we'll leave junk chests behind. It's okay, the little slimes can keep it. But anyways, up here, as you can see, and I should probably get some more rockets for me, but we've got this entire area mob-proofed, and it is so awesome. It's so nice being able to hang out down here without any creepers. I thought I was out of rockets there for a sec. I love this place even more so in the middle of the night because it just has this awesome glow with the little prismarine area starting to get those end rods rocking in there, and it's so very fun. I'm so happy with how this project has turned out, and now we have unlimited of all of the guardian drops we could ever need. And you know what? Probably could have done this whole thing in about an hour and a half if I wanted just the functional aspect by building that above ground or the above ocean one without having to drain anything. But you know, we chose a really big project here. Was it worth it? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. I think it looks pretty cool, but you guys let me know. Next up on the list of things to do today, folks, is I want to build up the structures inside of this new little village we'd been working on for a while. We've got 3 ones planned right out over there, and I believe we have 1, 2, and 3 planned out right over there as well. I want to make little things kind of themed after this guy right in here because I think it looks so very cool. And off of this house, just the smaller scale, so this feels like the more big grand one. Then we've got these little supporting guys around it. So it feels a bit more full in here where we're harvesting all of our oak trees and our jungle trees and all of that cool stuff. So I brought a bunch of junk over here with me that should be able to get us through a good amount of this. And I got a lot of sandstone here in my inventory too. So I figured we could start by just piling up the sandstone for these structures, seeing how tall we want them, and then getting that general idea in, similar to how I typically plan these guys out. Is I like to just get the shape in. If we can get a base shape in for where the roof is going to be and all that stuff, it is a million times easier for me to actually finish building the structures. And then also it gives you the ability to figure out where the height lines are going to go, because we don't want this to be at the exact level of the grass, which means I probably need to bump it up a little bit more. So I'm thinking we could take these guys all the way around here. But then we come down to, like, say right here where that feels very tall. So what if instead of where we have it right now, we do a little terraforming right on the back there, but we can bring the sandstone out with a little bit of a lower section, and we can have it stretching like 3 blocks out right there. Or maybe we bring it another one out right here, and it's a little bit of a wraparound balcony that like overhangs. And we can add some wood that'll be holding it up, because then it won't interrupt these trees too much, because we have the giant jungle trees out there. Might stop it from growing, but that could be a pretty fun idea. And then we don't have to do the terraforming anyway, so it's a win-win. Taking a look back so we can see how all of these heights are working from far away, and I fell down. From down here, though, I like that. That's going to look very, very nice from the ground level, which is good. But we do fly around this world a lot with the elytra, so how does it look out here? I like that as well. I think that's going to be a really cool viewing point. Coming back from the city now, my friends, and all of the roofs are installed across this entire place, and it is looking really cool being able to fly across this area and see what our actual village looks like from above, because down in here, it's really starting to feel like we have some structures in here, and we have a place for people to explore and be around and just do different things. But now comes the fun phase of detailing. So I've assembled a bunch of junk here together in my inventory, and we can start doing a few little things like adding these awnings out here, and then taking the corners and bringing them all the way down with some fences, and just giving ourselves little bits of overhangs, and then using some spruce wood right in there maybe, and we could take one of these little campfire guys right like that, extinguish that, and it looks like we got a little pile of wood rocking, and maybe we do a second one right out here too. And then one thing I also brought a bunch of with me here is I have a lot of spruce doors, because we didn't put any doors on any of these places. Now this right in here, I'm not a big fan of how that looks typically, so I like to come across these ones, and we'll do, actually I'm gonna lower this down. But we can do something like this where we turn it into a bit of an archway, so there's a front entryway where you actually can see the front of the house. And then maybe to help symbolize there's some more stuff going on around here, we could do this, and always having some crafting tables around is a good way to go. And of course, some more doors on the rest of these places, like so. And there we go. Now we have the ability, and I need to get some oak wood to be able to do it, is adding the sticky outy bits like we have on those guys. I was thinking about a little bit of a line right across the front face in there. I want to leave most of that to being inside this main structure, but we can do a little bit around the rest of the place. I was just about to be like, "Aw, man, I'm out of oak wood." I completely forgot that I have an oak tree farm that I haven't. No, I did. Yes, I did chop things down. Something sticking out right across here I think should be pretty cool, and using the vine, we can climb all the way up to the top. And then from here, we're gonna use mostly the trapdoor. Come on now. And I need to get some leaves and bring them back in here and get a little bit more detail going on, but we can do something like this with these guys, and then right there. And then for now, I guess I should go get the regular campfire so it blends in a little bit better. I am using my texture pack now, so that's why we see these spruce campfires in here for the soulfire ones, because I think they look amazing. But we've been using the regular campfires everywhere else, so I might come replace those here in a minute. Gonna need a lot of leaves to really spruce this place up with some jungle leaves and oak leaves. Fun puns. And then I still need to get this little deck balcony area in over here, but I'm liking the look of this now. We got a few things like the dried kelp blocks right over here that we can look like a little bit of storage crates or something, almost like they're holding the cocoa beans in a big like sack or something like that, but I think that could be pretty good for little details around there. What we don't need is creepers blowing everything up that we just did, so time to sleep. We're gonna touch down here in the second area now. We can get all of our doors in place just so that that is done with. There it is. That's how we get inside that building. I can never remember where I put the doors into these dang things. And the last one right in there. Perfect. And then this one is a little tight in here with the window right on that side with a little shutter above it. So we'll do this like half opening section right to there, and then bring it back up a touch there, and then we can do that guy from that point, which I kind of like. And then down here, I'm thinking we can have like a crate with a note block, and then we can start inching them all the way back up here too. I want this to feel like a street that people actually walk up and down, and then they got their storage stuff off to the sides. Now we do have a few spots where we can put some hanging flower pots right in here. I know it's hanging super low to the ground, but I don't think it's gonna interrupt our walking area too much, so I kinda like it. I need to get some more oak trap doors to put on the back of that, because I ran out of them. The hard part is just gonna be throwing all of the foliage around this entire area. I'm not really adding too many chimneys to this place or anything like that, because I know we have the big one right on that house, but we are in a jungle after all. It would be quite hot out here, so I don't think we need to have any big chimneys just that'd be billowing smoke out all over the place. I feel like most of what would be happening here is outdoor cooking, or there's at least enough ventilation through these homes that the air is constantly moving. Honestly, I think a little something right like that out here is almost perfect for what I really wanted to see, so we'll just do something right in here. And I like that. I like that a lot. Then we can use that so it's a little bit easier to walk up and down. But all we wanted over here was somewhere you could walk to the corner and be able to actually look out over everything. So that's pretty cool. Then last step is going to be come through out here with a few buttons and things to help break this up and make it look a little bit more interesting than it is right now. Buttons are always hard on diagonal structures like these, so I tend to avoid it. But what we can do instead is maybe right along here, there's a little bit of an awning like we had done previously. And then on the end bits here, we add an extra trapdoor so it looks a little bit thicker and there's a slight bit of a curve to it, and it'll make it look a lot better. Oh, no, not there. This lower area is really starting to feel pretty cool at this point in time. I'm very happy with what we have so far. I know it's very basic, and I know there's not too much going on with like shapes or crazy textures inside the structures, but it is meant to be more on the basic side, and that's why I like it so much, I think. Now coming back up to this point, I've got to get everything sorted from this little section right over there for the balcony, and then I definitely need to add a little bit more detail, like some more flower pots and things like this all over the place. And apparently a window here. I need a window. The wraparound balcony here is shrinking down a good amount from what we had before. I did a little bit of terraforming down below, and I think those will probably be our best bet for just having something nice up here and still being able to walk around it. So maybe we clean up those corners just a touch, and we just do some fences right around here. So we have a little bit of an area we can walk up and kind of see over the jungle tree grove, but it's not something that protrudes too much because otherwise it was going to feel way too in the way. And adding a little bit of extra depth to the bottom so it looks like we have some more full blocks in there, and I think that'll be perfect. I love that. That feels so very nice now. It's just so pleasant to look in this area, see the nice little houses here in the jungle, and then it's really time to start bringing the jungle atmosphere. And I hope I have a lot of jungle leaves because I'm just going to start spamming them around. And I think what I might do is see if I can't locate a few more melons. We do have a silk touch axe on us, so if I can grab a few more melons, I can add them right along here. It'd be kind of fun to have a melon patch that works its way all the way down this hill. So random, but so perfect. Oh my, hi, what are you doing here? Where'd you guys even come from? What the heck? I guess we have some inhabitants here in the village. All right, well, I'm just gonna get rid of you. Now off to find a cow. Anywhere in the jungle. Oh my gosh, finally I found cows. This is taking way too long. All right, there we go. Thank you very much for your milk. And back to the jungle we go. There we go, we can finally see this above the top of the jungle. Oh, it's looking so good, my friends. I've been working on this quite a while here, spreading leaves all over the place, as you saw there briefly before we had to run away because of that thing right there. But anyways, it's really coming together in here. I'm so happy with it. I got the melons added up here, found them throughout the jungle, and just started adding a bunch more stuff all over the place, and I think it's looking absolutely fantastic. I realize I never really put any torches around anywhere, so I think I still gotta do the lower half. I know we use lanterns normally, but I like the contrast of the lanterns being used on the big structure, and then torches are down here with all of these smaller homes. Not caring too much about it being super mob-proof, but you know, just enough so that we can at least have some light sources if it's the nighttime and you're looking around the area. But I think that is enough work that we can call this project here completed. These are mostly meant to be little supporter homes, not really stuff that you would explore around, so I don't really feel the need to do the interiors of them. The main purpose of this thing is to explore this big house, grab your trees, grab your oak trees, and you know, just get on out of here. With talking about getting on out of here, folks, I've decided that today's episode of the Amplified Survival World is going to be the finale of this here series. I've had so much fun working throughout the entire season of 35 episodes working inside an Amplified Survival World, but holy cow, this world is crumbling right in front of us here, and recording the last 2 to 3 episodes, as y'all might know, it's been a little bit of a break since the last one here, have been just not fun. They've been not fun at all. Today's been nice because I've stayed in that little jungle area that's not completely corrupted, but anytime I walk inside the storage room, inside of the brewery, or anywhere inside of the city, or pretty much anything beyond, if you look at F3G, these chunk borders in this entire city, it lags like crazy, and I don't know what's causing it, and I'm very much ready to be moving on from this series. Amplified has been very fun to work on, but I think I put my time in, and I'm ready to go back to regular types of survival worlds with brand new stuff coming here very soon. As y'all saw, I started a brand new Skyblock series actually earlier this week that's going to be running until 1.17 comes around. And then, you know, with 1.17, we have a brand new survival multiplayer series coming here very soon that I'm so extremely excited about that you all will hear more on later on. But up here, I want to do a little bit of a quick world tour and walkthrough of everything that we've done. We've got Enderbutt's house, which was our original starter house of this lovely little place in here. The storage room of barrels and chests and things all over the walls was perfect until Enderbutt decided he wanted to sit in that boat and we could no longer sleep in here. So we moved out very quickly, which moved our bedroom to right there. We have a cave over here where I have a bunch of goals and things that I was trying to accomplish. We didn't get to all of them, unfortunately, but I think it's kind of time to move this world on. We were able to build up this really cool city atmosphere for a harbor area down here on the base, and it was meant to be a fully completed city up there at the top, which we got 4 buildings accomplished in, and then it just turned to be too much of a headache to work up there, so I wanted to move beyond and do something else. We've got a creeper sitting in our first highway right over here. There was a minecart to get back and forth. He's been chilling there with the cow for about 20 episodes at this point in time. We've got our first wolf farm. We've got our first cow farm that I think I spent 5 hours trying to find those animals inside of the Amplified world. And then we built these little windmill blades on top of it. We went for very much a steampunk atmosphere inside of here. and I had so much fun exploring that more industrial side of the game, like with the giant oil rig out there being an iron farm. We've got this giant boat here mimicking the evergreen being our creeper farm that's exploding constantly. We've got a big old windmill blade right over here for our wheat farming area, a giant village on the cliffs. This here airship is actually our enchanting room. And before y'all jump on out of here, if you would like to get your hands on the world download, it is available to Twitch subscribers, YouTube members, and patron supporters. You can find links to all that stuff down in the description below, but there will be no public world download this time around. After what happened last time, I'm not even going to bother dealing with it. But up here, we've got a nice little boardwalk area to take us all the way over to that island, and the other way outside of this room will actually lead us eventually. I think we need to find a bed to sleep in here real fast. Back to the original bedroom for the final night of sleeping in this world. Now that pathway leads you all the way over here through this lovely little thingy with a propeller blade holding it up right down there, and there's cows everywhere inside this point now. All the way over here to the far side of the Creeper Express. That dude right there kind of took the quick route for us, and we have our villager breeder underneath me right here being this structure, which was awesome to have. And then all of those villagers were being transported up into the city, where unfortunately many of them have died. But inside of here, we've got a nice little cartographers, engineers, inventors workshop going on all over this place, which I really like. I think it turned out really well. And then I think my favorite interior of them all is actually the library right in here, which is looking super sweet. I tried double thick walls for the first time and using accent walls and had so much fun with it. So we got these nice little reading nook areas and everything to hang out. Then all the way up here is going to be all of our villagers that we are actually using. So here we have like our mending villager and all of those good things. Down here, I did try and create a grocery of sorts as well, or a grocer's shop, which was full of Fletcher villagers, but as mentioned, they all died. They did not survive. They've got a nice little bedroom up here. The iron golem spawned up here, and unfortunately, the doorway's a little narrow for him, so he couldn't really help them out when they were all dying right down here. So yeah, sad days, sad days. But I love the design of this little interior in here. We got a cash register, and I really tried experimenting a lot with different blocks and things inside of this world. I feel like this world helped me grow so much as a builder just by learning to use blocks for their color instead of their texture. Like we have light gray concrete powder up there. We have brown mushroom block right there. We have light gray glazed terracotta right in there. We got spruce planks in this being like a supporting block. We're using fences. We're using signs. We're using pretty much everything. And even up there, we have acacia wood being like a darker gray concrete than what we can get with the gray concretes right now, or in between of gray and light gray concrete. But this building never got finished. It was meant to be some sort of a living area with like a bakery or something down at the bottom to hold a bunch of like butchers and stuff like that, but didn't really get around to that one. Moving on from the main city itself, that led us to, we got a nice little airship up there. We've got an airship up there. That's a big wool farm inside of there for every color sheep you could ever need. But over here, we've got a triple chunk slime farm in there. We've got a cactus farm in here, and we've got a sugarcane farm right in here, which I love the interior of this. Very much a workshop feel for our sugarcane farm that I believe is, yeah, there's the flying machine down there. It's a little broken. If you want to take a little express into the jungle right down that way, that heads to our triple mob spawner that we've been using for experience a lot of times throughout this world. And then right over here, we have our lovely friend Wilson chilling on his raft. He decided to leave the village on his own time, and he got stuck out here in the ocean, so we built a little raft for him, and I thought it was great. But anyways, we already saw the jungle village. That thing was pretty awesome. We were over at the ocean monument earlier, which is also pretty awesome as well. I love this guy right here. Everything on this build is completely spawn proof, so no iron golems can spawn outside of the killing chambers, where they just spawn right in here, constantly being feared by the little zombie, and it's nice. Of course, as mentioned, this is our own freighter ship that has a creeper farm inside of it, but if we fly all the way out this way, a good distance, I mean I'm phasing in and out of reality as we're flying all the way over and hopefully not going to run into a mountain that spawns in our face, to our little transport ship coming from the Flower Forest Island, which I absolutely love. We've got this little guy over here, which I think is so very cool, making it look like we're moving items throughout the world, and it's also serving as a point where we can stop and grab a bed if we need to at nighttime, because one of the rules inside this world is that we can't take a travel bed with us, so we have to find little bed locations around the entire world, so it just kind of added some more complexity to the already complex amplified world. But over here, we've got this amazing windmill. I absolutely love the windmill blade design on that one, and landed on this little oak tree because I constantly get exploded by creepers up here. We've got our bees down there. We've got every single type of too tall flower with its own little flower farm in here with that stuff right there for the roses. We got the peonies, we got the sunflowers, and right under here, I believe we got the lilacs. There we go. And if we run those farms, all the storage stuff comes right down into here. So we get all the dyes that we could ever need. We got this really cool little yurt-styled home inside of here, which I think is so very fun. Had a lot of fun detailing this thing out. And the loading and unloading docks, I'd wanted to add an extra storage section right over in here. And to make it look like things have to go up to the top to get processed, and then come all the way back down here, geared up a little minecart with a chest that just goes up and back and down and all over the place. But we've got all of our bees set up right here. Never really gave them an official home, but you know, that's kind of... it was something that I'd meant to do and just didn't get around to. Now this thing right up here, as you can see gunpowder in bottles everywhere, constantly spawns mobs because we have our flower farm inside of here. So this is a one tall flower farm and everything. And unfortunately, somehow I've just never correctly mob-proofed this area. So there's constantly creepers spawning around here. And that front door is blown off, I think, 7 times so far. But this was a super fun little place to build up here. Took a break from the big city in hopes to see if the world would fix itself over time from the lag issues I was having, which unfortunately was not the case. But that led to building up this awesome little build over here, which I had a lot of fun on, and we can head on into the Nether, where we have the start of a Nether Hub project that didn't really get finished all throughout. That portal right there leads you to the Guardian Farm project that we have, but I wanted to build an entire cave with a train station and train tracks and everything running through the Nether. So we had this train track design that I absolutely love inside of here, and I was trying to turn this into an entire Netherwart field. But unfortunately, per that skeleton being right here, but it's not mob-proof at all with zombie piglins inside the entire thing. So what all that led to, unfortunately, was lots of gas spawning and appearing inside this area, and it was just not something that I ever really finished because it just didn't work out too well. It was very, very deadly to spend too much time in here. But anyways, the plan was to coat the entire ceiling in a kind of texturing like that with the crimson vines hanging and a bunch of leaves all over the place with soul fire lanterns for little bits of lights across the ceiling. And I thought it was going to be super cool, but maybe we'll revisit that upper detailing idea sometime in the near future. I think that'd be worthwhile again. But that pops us out back here in the city where we are in the lower docks. We've got a nice little noodle shop run by a family of pandas back here, which is super cool. We've got a brewery right inside of here to avoid the lag, not gonna run inside of it. And then over here, we've got our storage room with everything you could need. And finally, the Adventurers Guild right inside of here that I love. This is such a fun one to design. We did this very early on. We got our sponsor card right up there. And then over here, we have a world map that leads to everything. And I think the jungle village would be right up there. I might go update that real fast. Ah, yes, check that out. It is able to update everything. Oh, that looks really cool having it all in here. Oh, I'm so glad I ran over and did that. I love updating maps in Minecraft. I think it looks so cool. I know it's 2D, but I love seeing the change over time of as you update a map again. Throwing that guy right back up there. It is ready to go, and this area turned out so very fun. I really enjoyed working on a lot of these projects and just learning so much about the steampunk build style that I'd never tried before. And also back here, we had our Hall of Deaths, which, funny enough, after I built the Hall of Deaths, I never died again inside this world. We had a death by falling, death by creeper, death by creeper, death by falling while escaping a skeleton, and then down here we had a blaze, and we had another creeper death. And I decided that every single time we died, I would retire the set of armor that I had used to die. So it's a really good thing we didn't die with all of this stuff, because that would all be sitting on one of those armor stands. Quite sad. Quite sad to see. I felt like that gave another purpose at least to having diamonds and netherite and things inside of a single player survival world instead of just the flex of saying I have a million stacks of diamonds and all that stuff. But holy cow, my friends, this has been a journey and a half. Thank you all so very much for the support over this amplified survival world. I really hope you all did enjoy this series. Thank you so very much for checking out every single episode and the finale here. If you could go ahead and click that like button down below for me if you enjoyed this here series. And we're going to have a brand new multiplayer survival series coming with the release of 1.17, hopefully in the near future. We're going to be running Skyblock, as I mentioned, as the secondary series on this channel until we get to that point. Hardcore is not going anywhere until we die. Do not worry, my friends. But if you're brand new, please be sure to click that subscribe button down below. And with that, I will catch you on the fWhip side.